Good evening, I'm Joe Netherworld, and I'm here with your daily tarot card reading for January 18th, 2014. And see what this month's moving faster than we thought it would, which is nice, right? January is just I don't know. There's not much to be said about January except it's winter, and winter has its purposes, but it can be tedious. Get a little, in the Northeast especially, get a little housebound, and you know, I'm so much about my plants and my outdoors and my house, which looks very New Orleans-y, swampy, witchy, cool. 6-7 months out of the year, by the time January comes around, it's like Sanford and Son presents high Victorian drama in upstate New York. So, but anyway, here we are at the 18th, moving through this January nicely. I've been wearing black all month. I don't know why. It just feels like I should wear my uniform. It's like a uniform. I feel very priestly in my black on black and my vintage ties and such. Sometimes. Skinny vintage ties. The sad part about vintage ties and vintage clothes is you wear them for a while and you realize, oh, that's the last time I'm going to wear that. It's completely falling apart now. Yeah, it gives up the ghost. But anyway, let's get our main card for the day. It's a 3-card read, as I always pull. A 3-card read for my general read for the day. And our main card today is the Empress. So we have strong female card. Of course, it's the Empress. It's intuition over intellect, in a sense. It's a kinder, it's a fierce, strong, powerful female card. But as far as a ruler goes, it's more of intellect and emotion over intellect and logic. So, whereas decisions, where everything here, it's a strong intellectual female force, but she will kind of soften that decision making with a little bit of feeling and a little bit of experience as opposed to harsh logic. So that's good. That's someone saying, well, you know, in my experience, I've seen this happen before, and this is how this worked out. So I'm going to use experience over harsh logic, which is ruled by numbers. So this is less of a numbers day, less of a smart decision-making day, based more on experience and intuition. So that's good. We like that. That's a little more realistic. Sometimes, you know, that bank manager, I call it the bank, sometimes the bank manager energy of the Emperor is too harsh, too distant, and too logical. That's only good if your life adds up well on paper. But let's see what our other qualifier card here is. This guy's been kicking around. I could feel him. The 6 of Pentacles. It's financial balance. It's almost about being a little too obsessed with balance. I only spend $5 if I make $5. It's too driven by money, to be blunt, and the balancing of money. That you only do if you feel it's worth it. You know, and sometimes that's against what the Empress is about, which is, hey, sometimes things might not pay you back in money, but they pay you back tenfold in emotion or in experience. So sometimes, you know, we have to deal with that energy. But what we got on the other side of that, we have this again, the 4 of Rods. 4 of Rods, yesterday's card. You know, I do like when, as much as they shuffle and manipulate, and you see, you're watching me, run these cards around, that some cards are like, no, I got one more thing to say, I'm coming back. The 4 of Rods is the happy home, the balanced home. The semi-distant, right there though, it's viewable. You're passing through there's a rite of passage. You're gonna walk through, and as you get to the next step, it's about creating your castle, your home, your life. So this is like an engagement card today. It's about getting the next step. You're not there yet, but you're well on your way. So, you know, the Empress, you know, this might be a best way to describe today is good news relationship-wise. Also, you're on the pathway. It's about getting judged maybe by what you've done, not what you're worth, but hey, you're getting there. You're on your way. It's about maybe you've got that internship that you always wanted that are going to push you to the next step. Where it's saying, yeah, it's not only about money. What else are you going to learn? How about you got this job, this starter job that's going to lead to this great future, and you have to be willing to go, yeah, I'm willing to work for less money. I'm willing to work harder, or I'm going to make some trade-off. The warning, the Six of Pentacles is a warning in this instance. Is like, don't always look at things as plain dollars and cents. You'll end up missing out on setting up your path towards your happy home and towards your life if you are obsessed with, no, I get $12 an hour. I get $25 an hour. I won't work for a penny less. How about someone saying, well, I'm going to give you $20 an hour for this job, and it's going to be more work, but eventually you'll be up for a salaried position and be the manager of this place. You'll get this, well, no, I can't because I am only supposed to get this amount of money. That is not forward thinking. That is not being smart. That is being a little too practical. So today, on matters of finance and lifestyle, you have to be willing to put practicality second, put intuition first, and go, oh, right, Mel, you know, this isn't exactly what I was looking for, but it's leading, I feel it's going to lead me somewhere special. This is going to be a really important step towards the next step of my life and make some really big changes. But today I'm going to, you know, it's almost like you'd almost be embarrassed. They'll be like, why'd you take that job? They offered you so much less than you wanted. Blah, blah, blah. Well, it offered me this much more in these other areas. And in a year from now, because we're all going to, you know, we can't be so in the moment sometimes. Sometimes you have to give something 4 seasons. Sorry, four seasons. No, 4 seasons, Joe. It's 4. 4 seasons to maybe the things happen. So you're starting in this winter. Couldn't be any more in the winter than we are. The 18th and all of January, blah, blah, blah. That maybe by next January, next December, we're in a whole different place. So why not be, this is a great time to start a little lower because this is a low time of the year, and let things progress through the spring and summer and fall. So take that into consideration today. This is about, mainly this is financial, but there's also a lot of personal gain here. Sometimes you have to realize, you know, take things slower. Maybe go with someone or something in your life that doesn't seem to be fast-tracked and perfect, but has some ability to grow. Today is about believing, you know, kind of using your intuition and your faith and then your experience. Really, the Empress has a really strong amount of power in the world of experience today, and having lived through things is saying to you, maybe, just maybe, if you give something a couple of months, it's going to be everything you want it to be, and you're going to be exactly where you want it to be, because, you know, so sometimes today, take the advice when someone says to you know, you might not want to hear this, but in my experience, when I was in your same situation, I went back to school and took another course. I backed off from, I took a part-time job and was able to do a little volunteer work somewhere, learn something new, you know, a little internship. And you might go, oh, I don't want to do that. I need blah, 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 blah. You're wrong. You're wrong if you're listening to the dollars and cents and if you're just trying to only balance the scales. Because the scales are about here and now. The scales do not reflect the future. The scales can only balance yourselves up to the minute. And we all want to live in the future, like Criswell predicted in the future, where we'll all be living sometime in the future, that we have to make some leaps of faith and make some forward jumps. So that's what I'm saying to you today. Have a little faith, be willing to gamble a little bit, to try something, to not be obsessed with balancing the books. And that's today's reading. Interesting, fun, uplifting, challenging, all the important things that happen in a day. But then again, I'll be here again a little after midnight with tomorrow's read. So if you can kind of hold on till then, you can leave me some questions. I try and get back to them. Some of them are self-explanatory, so I like the comments are the comments, and I like to see them. But until then, I'll be sitting around here somewhere in the dark, waiting to see you again tomorrow night.